eyewitness weather forecast.
And a good Wednesday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking a seasonably cool end to our work week with some scattered showers and storms possible in there as well. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the, of course, the Sunday storm system that we're still talking about. As Tom's mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, we've had not one but two tornadoes out of that system. This one was actually almost double the distance of the Clark Mills one. Clark Mills was 2.43 miles. This one was 4.74 miles, and this one was also wider as well. Clark Mills was 300 yards exactly. This one was at 450, and this one started 2 miles south-southwest of Westmoreland and ended 1 mile south-southwest of Clinton. And it also happened basically simultaneously with the other one between about 3:59 and 4:10 a.m. This one a little bit stronger as well, 110 miles an hour. However, no injuries or fatalities associated out of this one. No tornadoes or severe weather or even clouds to speak of right now in downtown Utica, although it does appear a bit hazy right now. 84 degrees is that current temperature. The dew point is much lower than it was at this time yesterday. It was around 71 this time yesterday. Now it's at 65, but even that 6-degree differential makes it feel a whole lot nicer out there, but still it's a couple of degrees warmer. That heat index is at 86 at this time. Temperatures across the area are into the 80s with the exception of Old Forge at 77 and Albany and Catskill down toward the east are at 90 and 93 respectively. Still warm there. That's why they were under heat advisory today there. And no rain to speak of other than just one lonely shower making its way from eastern New York into southwestern Vermont. And that's going to change as we head through the next 24 to 48 hours because you'll notice here with the temperatures again, we've got 84 in downtown Utica right now, 93 in New York City, but look at Chicago, 83, and then Twin Cities, Minneapolis is at 66, and between that there's showers, especially over portions of Wisconsin right now, and that's associated with a cold front that'll move its way our way during the day tomorrow and will be with us on Friday as well as several systems ride along it. So temperatures both tomorrow and on Friday will be in the middle and upper 70s with a few scattered showers and storms, and then more of a chance of storms as we go through Saturday when we'll increase the humidity and the temperature gets back up into the low 80s. However, the difference being this time we're not looking at the threat for any severe weather, especially as we head through the day tomorrow. There could be a few rumbles of thunder though as we head closer toward the southern tier, but again, nothing severe. I want to emphasize that. Temperatures tomorrow will also be significantly cooler, upper 60s to the lower and middle 70s, just depending on where you are. But before we get to that, we'll just have a few clouds during the overnight hours, and we'll also have, again, more of the same as we go through Friday with a few storms in the mix, but nothing severe. As we go through Saturday, we'll increase the humidity. Same thing as we go through Sunday. Sunday and Monday looking quite steamy. Monday, it looks like we could have another heat advisory in our hands. Just depends on how warm the temperature is and how humid it gets. And then it looks like we quiet things down as we head through the middle of next week to start the month of July.
And Jordan, even though there's nothing severe going on, the heat is still a little bit of a concern, so we need to be hydrating ourselves. And if you're going to go out for a walk, even with your dogs, make sure to protect their feet from the hot pavement. It might not be too hot, but in reality, it's really hot for the pads of their feet. That's good advice, especially when those 85 to 90 degree temperatures return Sunday into Monday of next week. All right, thank you, Jordan. Coming up next on Eyewitness.
Now, your eyewitness weather forecast.
And a pleasant Wednesday evening to everybody. I'm meteorologist Jordan Reed, tracking some seasonably cool days with chances for showers and thunderstorms in the mix. But before we get to that, we still have to talk about the system that moved through almost 4 days ago now, back on Sunday morning. As Thomas mentioned earlier in the show, there was a second confirmed tornado, although this one was a little bit wider, a little bit stronger, and a little bit longer as well, moving through from started 2 miles south-southwest of Westmoreland and ended 1 mile south-southwest of Clinton, was 450 yards wide and 4.74 miles long. And to compare that to the Clark Mills tornado that happened almost around the same time, 3:59 to 4:10 a.m., the Clark Mills tornado was 300 yards wide and 2.43 miles long. This one also a little bit more intense in terms of the wind, 110 miles an hour. Clark Mills was 105. However, that one was the one that we just mentioned was not deadly or did not cause any injuries, unlike the Clark Mills tornado where unfortunately 3 people were killed. Right now, anything but severe weather out there right now. 75 degrees. The dew point is still up there, 64, but at least it's not in the 70s like it was at this time last night, and that actually makes it feel like 75. That dew point will come down as we head through the overnight hours, and so will the temperature. So most of us up toward the north are into the 60s. Boonville right now is at 66, Old Forge at 65, but the rest of us from the valley down toward the south are into the lower and middle 70s. The radar is quiet right now, and it's going to remain that way through at least the overnight hours, and that'll change as we head through tomorrow because of this cold front that's making its way through Wisconsin and portions of Michigan right now. So you'll notice that Chicago's at 75, but on the other side of the front, Minneapolis is at 66, and that cold front will make its way in our direction, therefore keeping the 80s, 90s, 100-plus degree heat indexes at bay for both tomorrow and on Friday. We'll see the heat the humidity, I should say, come back as we go through Saturday, but temperatures both tomorrow and Friday getting into the lower and middle 70s with some showers and storms, but nothing severe. I do want to emphasize that. You may find some moderate to heavier pockets of rain, but no severe weather, unlike what we had on Sunday. So I wanted to emphasize that. 76 for tomorrow, downtown Utica, the rest of the area into the upper 60s to the lower and middle 70s. So certainly a stark contrast compared to the last couple of days. We'll have a few clouds during the overnight hours, and then those clouds will increase, maybe a few peaks of sunshine here and there, and then the best chance of rain looks like it'll be from the thruway on toward the south during the afternoon, up toward the north in the evening, and that'll continue through Friday morning as well. When temperatures both days around 76 degrees, we'll see the heat and humidity build back in once we get into Sunday and Monday, especially to wrap up the month of June, when we may see a heat advisory issued once again, just like we had earlier in the week. And then to start the month of July, we'll be in the upper 70s to lower 80s with some sunshine returning to the area.
Well, at least all of that rain's going to make for some pretty green and nice, luscious lawns.
Yeah, those lawns are going to be need to be mowed after all the rain that we're going to have over the next few days.
And are the temperatures actually going to come down by the time the clouds go away to make that chore a little bit easier?
Yeah, unfortunately, those clouds will bring a lot of rain, though, so gotta watch the timing of that.